What's going on, Sigmas?
What's going on, Alphas?
Welcome to our latest Skibbity podcast. And today we're going to be talking about books.
The most boring topic imaginable.
Actually.
Books. Because we know none of you motherfuckers are reading, so we have to inform you about all the books.
Actually. Because I've been on my book grind lately.
Mm-hmm. I've been grinding on the books.
You just have like a tower of books. And you just, like it's a pole.
Baby, grind on me.
But I specifically wanted to talk about people that read books.
Ugh.
Because I feel like it's such a, I guess, stigma or stereotype. I don't know.
What the stigma?
But I don't know. It's like a good one though, you know, because people like will see you read a book and they'll be like, "Oh, you're so smart."
Oh my god, he is so eloquently intelligible.
Intelligible.
What? Yeah. Whatever.
But that's a $5 word. Anyways, but people will look at that and be like, "Oh my god, they're getting so informed." Mm-hmm. But when more than half the time they're reading just some bullshit. You know, they're not reading an informational book. It's a fiction book.
Like Harry Potter.
Yeah. Which, granted, I could admit those might have like allegorical truths, right? As in the stories themselves might have some good lessons in them.
Yeah.
But
like to not say his name.
Yeah. And believe all women.
True.
Even without evidence. But yeah, I feel like just most of the time I really doubt that they're really that informational. It's like, and it's just entertainment at the end of the day, you know, like for a lot of people.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I remember people would hype up. I forget. It was something on the internet, and there were these people talking about like how, oh well, it's women that read more than men. It's like, well, yeah, but what are they reading?
A bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
It's
whenever
like
spicy,
raunchy shit.
Yeah. It's all fiction. It's always fiction. It's like, oh yeah, they read. Who gives a fuck what they're reading if they're just talking about vampires and fucking BDSM?
Actually, because every time I talk to someone, I see someone at my job will be reading a book, and I ask them, "Oh, what are you reading?" And it's always, just some fiction, just some drama fiction, just some historical fiction.
Which is kind of pretentious and gatekeepy of us.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, well, if you're reading, you should be learning.
Yeah, true.
You should be learning something instead of just fucking reading a bunch of bullshit that you like to read.
I mean, you might as well just be watching cartoons or movies or whatever the fuck. Why waste time reading it? It takes so much more time. I don't know, but...
Well, have you ever read a fiction book?
Yes, I have.
And they're pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm
Your
not gonna
imagination
lie.
works a lot better than some image on the fucking screen. But
100%.
to be fair, but what I was saying earlier was that like a lot of women feel like they're like, oh well, I don't know, whatever. A lot of people think like women are reading more, and they're like, oh they're reading. Look at what they're reading. They're all reading. Oh, book. But then whenever I talk to a woman about what they're reading, it's just a bunch of fucking bullshit. It's like, oh, just fiction. It's like, oh, you're so smart. But I'm sure plenty of men that read a lot probably do the same thing. But
Yeah. Granted,
I'm just being a sexist.
That saying, I don't know if it's a saying. I don't know.
Machismo.
Shut the fuck up. Holy shit, you keep interrupting me. Do you ever just shut the fuck up for 1 second? And so I could finally say something and get what's off my mind, off my chest. Something that I've been wanting to say to the man in the mirror. That I've been wanting to start with to beg him to make a change.
All right, my bad.
Anyways.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
It won't happen again. I'm even gonna say some bullshit like that. I forgot what was. I forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh yeah, every time I have seen someone read a book, it was a woman. I don't know if is it like a statistic that women read more?
I don't know. Let's look it up. But go on.
So I don't know if I do run into a man that's reading a book, I'll definitely ask them. But yeah, I don't know. Every time I tell someone that I'm reading like a book about philosophy, they're like, "Wow," which, granted, like if I were to hear someone say that too, I'd be like, "Interesting." This guy knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah, true. This guy's a true intellectual. Intellectual. But yeah, well, apparently women do read more.
Yeah. Did you just look that up?
Yeah.
Did you actually read what it said, or did you just read a headline?
The headline said, why do women read more than men?
Oh. So you did just read a headline.
Yeah. You want me to read an article right now?
No,
in the middle of the
I
pod?
would.
When we're talking to our friend?
True.
How rude. I shouldn't have even been on my phone. I'm
sorry for
I'm
our good,
you
long-time friend.
You specifically.
Smith.
I can't believe you forgot our friend's name. It's...
But anyways, what are you gonna say? I say anyways a lot. But I feel like if you're gonna read, to me, it's like if I'm gonna put that much effort. Well, for me, it's a lot of effort to read, right? Actually, physically read. So to me, it's like why wouldn't I put it into something where I'm gonna get a lot of value from, especially in a philosophical means, because that's something I'm deeply interested in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've been reading things like books from Cicero, Soren Kierkegaard,
Mm-hmm.
Albert Camus, stuff like that. I'm gonna be reading something from Nietzsche and Dostoevsky, but to me, it's like if I want to hear about something fiction, I'll like watch some anime,
Yeah.
right?
Or
Like,
read something with pictures.
true.
Like I just read Berserk for my friend here. In case you don't know, I didn't just finish. I finished Berserk, which was 376 chapters, and then a new chapter just came out. It just hasn't been translated in English, and that shit is crazy. That is crazy. I highly recommend reading it. Just because there's no anime. I know there's like a series, like an animated series, but it's just of the Golden Age or the Golden Era, which is like pretty much the same era that the movie is based off of.
Yeah.
So it's like the same shit, just a little longer than the movie. But highly recommend. Highly, highly recommend.
I hear they're adapting that though. To make a new a whole series into anime.
Of Berserk?
Yeah.
I hope so, because that would be sick if they like did justice.
Yeah, because they had like that fairy and everything when I saw the trailer.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Pluck.
Yeah. What the pluck? But yeah, if I highly encourage anyone.
I perturb you to read something more.
No. I was not going to go that direction.
Oh.
Anyone that sees someone reading a book, if you could read the title, look up that book.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee that it's on some raunchy shit.
Yeah, especially women. Women are reading some crazy shit.
There's like spice levels, bro. It's crazy.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, you couldn't, because they're called spicy books. And you could look up, some websites will rate how spicy it is. And that's just like lingo for how raunchy or sexual it is. And yeah, so.
Muy caliente.
I remember watching a video from Stoic Stick. Have you heard of him?
No, I haven't.
He's like
Stick. No, I
yeah.
haven't.
He's like this salmonella clone. And he made a video about that, like women reading books, and basically that they're all gooning, like in public, basically, which is kind of true. Because he was talking about how he went to a movie theater with either, I think, his girlfriend. No, it was 100% his girlfriend. Yeah, and it was like a super sexual movie, and he started looking around that everyone was jostling like in their seat, and then he realized that they're all gooning in the theater, and then he whispers to his girl saying that, and she's just like, shh, don't ruin it.
That's crazy.
I don't know, but he's British, so
Yeah,
we hate British people.
Don't fucking bongers.
Bongers?
Yeah, bongers. You've never heard that before?
I've never heard that.
It's just a slur for you.
I was gonna
fucking
say, is that a
British
slur?
people. Fucking bongers. But
What does that even mean?
I honestly don't even know where it originated from. I tried to look it up, but all I know is it confirmed that it was just like, I don't know if it's necessarily derogatory or not, but yeah, British people, bongers, same shit.
Okay, same difference.
But what's it called? Those books, like The books that a lot of people or a lot of women read in public, they just look like regular ass books.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, the life of a lost star or some bullshit like that.
Yeah,
And it's like, well, you never know what was actually going on.
the Garden of Eden, on some bullshit like that.
Yeah. But I need to start doing that. I'm gonna see a woman reading, and I'll be like,
Just
or I'll just straight up ask them, hey, what are you reading?
yeah, right.
And then just look it up later. Like, oh, it's just a fiction book. I'm like, okay, can I get the name of that real quick? And then I'll just look it up later or some shit. But I was gonna say, so are you saying for the single men out there that they should be looking out for women that are reading those books?
Because they're gooners.
And hit on them right then and there because they're nice and primed?
Oh yeah. You might as well just whip it out.
Oh, true. Especially if they're on the train.
Actually, yeah, because then they can't escape.
Because of the implication.
I remember I saw someone when I was in Hinge. I saw someone say like reference that the implications because that's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
right? I had no idea. I was
You've
like,
never
"What's
heard
the
that before?"
implications?" And yeah, she explained it to me, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And I looked it up, and I was like, "This is crazy."
Yeah.
This is
It's
wild.
just so wild.
Actually out of pocket.
Always Sunny in Philadelphia is hilarious. There was this one scene
So
that
many
I saw.
bangers.
There was this one scene that I saw of this Jewish guy that just moved in next door. And the dude was like, "Oh, this I was looking up the specifics of the property ownership and about halfway into this property or halfway into your building is on my property. So you guys have to either get out or redo this as soon as possible or whatever, or else it's pretty much mine." And then the dude was like, because I think he said he was from Israel, and they were like, "I don't know where you're from, but where we're from, you can't just come up and take people's land."
One of the guys said that?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, this is insane. I like in the past I would have never known what that that was just gone right. I would have thought it was just some random plot point.
Yeah.
Like it's just this is some crazy shit.
That's right, in America.
Yeah, and I was
Right.
like, okay, he's a Jew. Like, oh, I don't give a fuck. But like now it's like, oh, he's from Israel. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just like funnier that they
Like the
specifically said that.
implications, yeah.
Exactly.
But back to the books, right? When I was getting these latest 4 books, by the way, I got the Bible, English Standard Version, and the Quran.
Quran.
Yeah, the Quran. Is that how you say it, or are you just being weird?
I'm just being weird.
I figured. And then I also got Thus. What is it?
The spoke Zarathustra.
Yeah, by Nietzsche. And then Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky.
This is a really good book. Highly recommend. Thus Spoke Zarathustra.
But when I was looking for the books, I was looking for Crime and Punishment. And then I had the Bible in my hand, in my arm, and these 2 people come up to me. Because I was in my scrubs. It was just after work.
And you had Barnes and Noble?
Yep. And they approached me, and they were just asking me, "Oh, did you just get off shift?" Because this other guy was in scrubs too. Apparently, he had graduated from a nursing program just recently.
Oh, really? Yeah, this dude that I was just one of the groomsmen I was with.
Did I say I was done?
Said he was a nurse.
Did I say I was done?
I don't care.
You one of the groomsmen? You said
Yeah,
that W. Anyways,
and he was Filipino.
Oh, the guy that I met was Filipino too.
Why is that a thing?
I don't know. It's like a thing in Filipino culture. You either go to the Navy or become a nurse. But both of them were Filipino actually. Now that I think about it, and yeah, they just started talking to me, and then they saw that I had the Bible. They asked me about it. It was a really good conversation. It was a very organic conversation. Like I've never really had that happen to me in nature like that. You know?
Really? No pesticides or nothing?
No.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I guess if there was pesticides, they wouldn't have came up to you in the first place.
Yeah, I am the pesticide though.
True. But was it a good conversation though?
It was a pretty interesting conversation. And yeah, I ended up getting their information, and yeah, just have their numbers now. And asked them if they could suggest me a fiction book because I don't really get into fiction at all. But then I found out, thus spoke Zarathustra. Zarathustra. Apparently that's fiction.
Yeah,
and then
is
and Crime and Punishment is fiction. I
Yeah.
didn't know that either.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm wrong. I guess I wasn't that. But
Not that
I guess-
intelligible
you
ability.
know. But I feel like that's a little different when you're specifically reading a book from a philosopher, because in these books, right, they directly impose their ideals and show them how it would work out in their world and how they, in their view, like if someone were to abide by their morals, what exactly would happen. And,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, Crime and Punishment is pretty much about a book. It's pretty much saying like, oh, this is the type of shit that would happen if we lived in a society that didn't believe in God. And I could say that without spoiling anything for you. But yeah, it's really, really good book. I think you're gonna like it a lot, and you're probably gonna get more out of it than I did because I just listened to the audiobook. So there was times where it's like it was hard for me to actually listen, like and really take it all in because sometimes you just passively listen without really taking shit in. But
Yeah, just with this book right here, I have it on my desk because I've been reading it. I've been on my reading grind. It's The Myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus. Very good book so
you
far.
could just say Camus,
But that's not his name.
but everyone says Camus.
They're wrong
How do you know that?
because I've heard him say it.
You've heard Albert Camus say Albert
Yeah, I
Camus.
met him. I met him
Oh, okay, you dickhead.
in my dreams. No, put that on top of my
Oh
desk.
yeah, what'd you
dickhead.
do with him in his dreams? You fucking real fucking quick or what? Oh my god, I love Sis. Are you Sisyphus?
Shut the fuck up. But yeah, when I'm reading these, for anyone, for our friend right here,
Homie.
I have this app called Obsidian, really good app for note taking, just in general. And while I have one for each book that I'm reading, and I write down. Imagine that's typing, right? And I jot things down as I'm going through them, not as I'm reading. Obviously, I'm not like this.
Yeah, of course.
Interesting, but like I'll read.
You
a
just
few-
type out the whole book.
Yeah, right. There'll be no point of taking notes like that, right? But I'll read a few passages, as in like a few chapters, sometimes like a page or two, and then I'll just summarize that in like 2 or 3 sentences, so at least the meaning I get out of it. And then at the same time too, since I'm reading it, if there's a part that if I get to a point where I'm like, wait, I don't really get what he's saying here, I go back a sentence or two, and then I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it, which is super helpful. Because in this one specifically, I don't know if it's considered fiction or not, but he's basically talking about his ideas about the world and the absurdity of it all and the consequences of that absurdity. And whether or not we should be facing to resolve the absurdity or not, which I think is really interesting so far.
Yeah, I don't know if you got into it yet, but there's this one part where he talks about like the question of suicide. Have you gotten to that part?
Isn't that like in the very beginning?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think so.
He says something about it being
pretty
the
early
first
question. Yeah.
the most important one. Like,
Yeah.
why not kill yourself?
Yeah, and then he pretty much says like, oh well, killing yourself would make life just as absurd as not killing yourself. So like, really, that's not even like a real question because who cares either way?
Yeah.
Like, oh, whether I kill myself or not, that doesn't bring meaning to my life.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would I even want to kill myself?
Mm-hmm.
But
Spoiler, low key.
how far have you gotten?
I'm on page 25.
You should be well past that.
Oh. Then maybe I just kind of forgot. I probably have it jotted down.
Probably. Oh, I guess it's not working so well, huh?
I mean, I could always go back to the notes and reread them
True.
instead of having to read the whole fucking thing again.
Yeah, like I would have to.
Um,
Actually, let's read it right now. Albert Camus.
Camus. But anyways.
All right, next topic. So
Now we're gonna talk about arguing.
there was this book I read.
Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. I'm sick of you always saying shit. I'm sick of you always imposing your ideas on me. I'm sick of you always looking like me.
Anyway, so there was this book I read called it was a book I really needed to read because I was really struggling with this, right? How to
Weight loss. Oh.
No.
What?
It's called How to Win Friends and Influence.
Okay.
Because I was really struggling with that.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Jesus Christ. And it was talking about like, it was this. It was pretty much talking about different ways that people are able to take criticism and not take criticism, and like, part of the main points that I got from it that I feel like were things that I didn't do that I could apply to myself. Mm-hmm. One thing is like not criticize as much, if ever, and if you do, butter them up before you do, because it says something like even the barber will lather up his client before he shaves them.
True.
Right. So that was something that stuck with me. And then another thing was, one way to win, the way to win every single argument is to avoid them by all costs. So I've been arguing way less, and I'm trying to argue less because like really nobody wins in an argument, right? Like who wins an argument? Like there's never been a time like you know this. There's never been a time where you get out of an argument or finish an argument and be like, wow, that was really insightful and helpful.
Especially a very combative one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, if it's an argument, that's necessarily, to me, at least, if you're arguing, it's necessarily combative.
You think so?
Yeah, there's like almost never honest argument or like, because to me, the nature of arguing is like, you guys come to this disagreement, but the way you got there was not through some like, okay, we're gonna do this. Here are the rules. It's not like a debate, you know.
Yeah.
Like if it was a debate, then it's like, okay, that's different. But nobody's ever debating on the regular day to day. Like, oh, I challenge you to a debate, and we're gonna have these rules and blah blah blah. But we're gonna go premise, conclusion, and see who is the most logical. Right? It's just all like emotional bullshit that people just want to argue. And nobody wins at the end of the day. Like, we're just hard set in your mind, and if you agree, or if you lose, quote unquote, if you accept that you're wrong, then the other person's just gonna fucking rub it in your face. So people are gonna be like, just never gonna want to argue, or never gonna want to change their mind, or say that they changed their mind, or that they were ever wrong, because then it's like, oh well. Now I'm a dumbass, and nobody wants to be a dumbass, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like the whole premise of it all is just so ridiculous. So it's like, why argue?
Yeah.
Because you're just wasting your time. Unless it's fun for you to do shit like that. Like I used to argue on the internet with random people, but it's just like, it's still a waste of time. I'm just wasting my time. I gotta be honest about it.
Yeah, that's like just for like internet blood sport, basically. You're basically just ripping in on random people.
Yeah,
because that's what like degenerates to, right? It basically, when someone doesn't have a good argument, they're just like, mad because wrong.
You mad, or they'll literally just say, oh, you seem to have problems with comprehension skills. I have seen that so many times. It's like, oh, okay, dude, like whatever. And then it's like nobody's like, it's the same shit, just you're just typing shit out.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you misspelled something.
Yeah.
And then it's like, that's it. And it's just so dumb. I mean, it is fun, to be fair, but...
Yeah, misspelling on the internet, like on an internet argument, is just as bad as stuttering in actual argument.
Then you get, today, Junior.
Yeah. It just makes you want to fucking off yourself.
Yeah, but, honestly.
I think...
Oh my god, I lost.
I don't know. I like arguing.
Because you're a dickhead.
Yeah, I am a dickhead. But why not be a dickhead?
True, it's all absurd, right?
Exactly. um, hmm. I feel like arguing is fun, but you definitely have to. I found that restricting it to like closer friends that I know that can handle arguments is like the best way to do it.
That's another thing too. Is like arguing can lead to such like bad tension. Like you said, if you don't know the person, it's gonna be, it could go bad.
Especially if it's like a coworker or something, right?
Yeah.
And then if other people around hear you and they disagree with you, that kind of ruins your reputation because you're just seen as like an idiot.
Yeah.
That's why I try to keep like politics and work separate, because even if I might have like good reasons on why I believe what I believe for certain politics, right? But if I just express that I'm either left or right leaning at the workplace, we're not arguing about why I feel that way or why they think I'm wrong, right? They're just gonna hear that and boom, assume that I'm an idiot if they are on the other side.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing, right? Is if you're arguing with someone, they're just thinking, oh, they're an idiot. And like another thing I hate when people do this shit is when you're arguing and they disagree or you disagree with them and they're like, oh, bro, it's common sense.
Common sense. Common sense is the most infuriating phrase, because that's just someone backing down from actually explaining themselves.
Yeah, common sense is where rationality goes to die.
Exactly.
Because you're not if we're both, because then I just say like, oh well, it's common sense. If I say this, then we're both appealing to common sense.
Yeah.
And then like, but we're disagreeing, but we come out with different conclusions, right? We both appeal to common sense and come out with different conclusions. So we have to appeal to something greater than common sense.
Yeah, and if we're both coming from different conclusions from common sense, then it's obviously not common sense, right?
Yeah. It's just the most ridiculous shit ever. Like common sense is shit like, oh, like most people are right hand dominant or some shit like that, or the sky is blue. But when it comes to like moral questions of like what's wrong or right, people's intuitions vary so much. It's like, why would you even say something as retarded as common
why
sense?
would you invoke common sense in something as complex as morality, right?
Yeah, it just tells me you're retarded.
Yeah, it shows that you just haven't thought about it much.
Yeah. Oh, common sense. But what did that mean? Actually, I don't have to think about that. Common sense.
Yeah. It's such an like easy scapegoat. It's like people's what's it called?
They're tabula rasa.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. I just heard it today and I was like, ooh, I like the way that sounds.
It just feels like people's what's it called? Like padding. Scapegoat? It feels like they're padding for the world is like common sense, so they don't have to face any actual like questions about their morality or the way they think or why they do things. They're just like, it's common sense, and then they just continue afterwards. It's like anything comes their way to question anything. Oh, common sense. Yeah. It's common sense. That's why I do this. It's like why wouldn't I be doing this? Everyone does. It would think this way, or everyone does think this way.
Yeah, the fact that like social norms is like super fucking frustrating for me.
Yeah,
I think, but I would just be saying the same shit. I would just be repeating myself. It's just the same shit.
Like when
it's all just word games. You're playing word games with me, and you think you're smart. Holy fuck! Yeah. Not you though. Not you. I'm not talking.
Not you, friend.
Not you, guy.
Or girl, or they,
or them.
Mm-hmm. But or this for one instance, right? It's like common sense that a guy's supposed to be walking on the left side of the sidewalk. And it's like, why? Oh, so you could get hit first. Duh.
And it's like common sense says if one of us is getting hit, we're probably both getting hit.
And then if anything, if I'm on the inside, I could keep more eye out on the road. And then if I see a car coming, I could pull you out the way.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It's all dumb. It doesn't make any sense. And people appeal to common sense so much, but then they'll invoke like superstitions, like splitting poles.
Yeah.
Oh, it's common sense. But don't split poles when we're walking together, or else something bad's gonna happen. It never does.
Yeah.
It never fucking does. I don't care what any one of you say. Except for you, friend. I care what
Yeah,
you say.
except you. Come on. You know.
What we got going out? You know, we're not talking about.
We
you.
got something special.
Yeah, honestly.
But I mean, everyone has like some superstitions, you know, which is also triggering.
I don't.
I don't either.
Ever.
I'm not allowed to. Something might go wrong if I have a superstition. You want to call it there?
Sure.
30-minute. Perfect. All right. Well,
thank you, Sigmas.
it was good gooning with you guys.
I hope you come back to Edge again.
So we could educate you.
That was good. See you later, guys, on the next episode of Manhead.
Have an amazing day.
Grand one, actually.